to welcome you to this brief presentation about Better Choices, Better Health. I'm Candy Dana, one of the peer facilitators for the program.
And I'm Catherine Ramos, also a peer facilitator. And actually, I realized we should probably explain what that means a little bit. It means Candy and I, along with other facilitators, there'll be two for each workshop, and we provide support and encouragement to the workshop attendees over the 6 weeks.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Like, what is a facilitator? So the outline of our presentation is just what we hope to do is give you a brief overview of what the workshop is like and hit some of the highlights of the activities. We'll talk about the difference between an acute and a chronic condition, how we can break our symptom cycles, and how many of us can be really successful in managing symptoms by using our minds. Another thing that we'll go over briefly, but it's really a cornerstone, is goal setting and then problem solving.
So originally, this program was developed at Stanford through the Patient Education Research Center and over 3 decades of research from Kate Lorig and her team. And we have designed this 6-week peer-led digital workshop to average around 20 to 30 participants. And it's tailored towards your individual abilities to get on virtually and participate. And the cornerstones of that, as she mentioned earlier, goal setting, which we had attracted through action planning. We have moderated discussions, and there's peer support and coaching, and then each week there is a guided lesson for the 6 full weeks.
So we'll just do a quick overview of acute versus chronic. This might be a review for many of you, but it's important to understand the main differences. So in acute conditions, the role that we have as patients and the role that our providers play are very, very different. First of all, an acute condition such as having a broken bone or strep throat or appendicitis or something like that, the onset's very rapid. There's usually an easily identifiable cause of it. The duration is considered to be short, in other words, less than or 6 months or less, for a broken bone. It's fairly easy to diagnose, and the tests are often very accurate. Also, treatment is common. You follow your doctor's instructions. They know exactly what to do, what to tell you to do, and you follow your orders and you get better. A chronic condition is very, very different. For one thing, the onset can be very slow. There could be multiple causes for it. The duration is usually long-term, meaning probably for the rest of our lives we will have this condition. Sometimes the diagnosis isn't very certain, or it isn't very conclusive. This points out that diabetes is an exception because they've been testing for that for years and can be pretty accurate in diagnosing it. But there is rarely a cure for a chronic health condition. So our health professionals become our coaches and our teachers, our partners, whereas we, as the patient, are the ones who become the experts in our condition because we're managing it on a day-to-day basis.
And so what is self-management? We are given this explanation from the Center of Advancement of Health, and it involves engaging in activities to protect and promote our health, and we're able to monitor and manage the signs of the illness and hopefully manage the impact of the chronic disease on our emotions, relationships with our coworkers, our friends and family, as well as adhering to some of the treatment regimes that may be prescribed for our condition. and taking care of you. You are the primary caretaker. Nobody knows your situation better than you do. That's why you develop this, hopefully, partnership with your healthcare professionals, and they're consulting with you. And each day, you are the expert on being able to make tons of decisions. Some of them can be very critical, but the sum of which, help to determine your longevity and your health. For example, you decide what to eat, whether you're going to exercise, and to what extent you will take your medications if needed. So self-management allows you to make informed choices, gain a new perspective, gain skills, and practice the behaviors, as well as maintain or regain emotional health.
So now we have a question for the group. People identify in this workshop when we started, what are the most common challenges that we face when we're managing a chronic health condition. So we would like to ask you, if you can type into the chat box, what problems or challenges do you have living with a chronic health condition, and how does that impact your life? And then we'll give just a couple of examples. So type your answers into the chat section of the box. Okay, so some examples that we have here are finding the right medical team to help, balancing weight, quitting smoking, staying active, being able to drive. This is one that we hear from a lot of people. I look healthy, and so people don't expect me to have a chronic health condition. I have pain. I'm very tired. So here on the next slide, you can see that these are things that have come out of previous workshops where people have identified their common conditions, and you can see that these do have a lot in common with what people mentioned today. Also, problems breathing, that's another big one. Fatigue, it impacts relationships, friendships. A lot of people have trouble figuring out what to eat. It impacts our sleep. So these are very, very common amongst our participants. So what this workshop really has to offer is a way to find different tools that can help us with these various challenges that we face. And so each week we introduce different topics from our toolkit, and everybody has a chance to try them out during the week to find out which ones might or might not work well for them. And the beauty of the toolbox is that it gives you a lot of options. So if you need a hammer, or you need a certain type of screwdriver, you have that available in your toolbox, but you might not need it for a while. So what we like to say is that the symptom cycle, which is something that we talk about during the workshop, which can lead not just your health condition causing these things, but these things feed on each other. So if you have a lot of fatigue, it's going to cause tense muscles, and tense muscles lead to pain. Pain can cause shortness of breath. So the toolbox that we offer gives you an opportunity to try to break that symptom cycle in various points along the way.
So one of the big things that we like to do in this workshop is help our participants learn how to use their mind to manage symptoms. And so I bet you're wondering, what does this lemon have to do on the screen with being able to manage your symptoms? And I'd like to take a few minutes now and invite you all to participate with us in a little demonstration of how our minds can affect our bodies. So wherever you're sitting, standing, get comfortable. You're welcome to close your eyes and participate fully in this activity. So once you're comfortable with your eyes open or closed, I'd like you to imagine that you're holding a big, bright, yellow slice of lemon. Picture it in your mind. You can feel the texture of the lemon rind on your hand. Now lift the lemon to your nose. Smell the strong aroma, the citrus scent. Next, bring the lemon slice to your mouth and take a big bite out of the lemon. It's juicy. The juice squirts all through your mouth. You can taste the tart lemon juice filling your mouth. The juice dribbles down your chin. You're sucking more lemon juice from the lemon. All right. What were some of the things that you experienced during this? I'd like to have you write it in the chat box, some different elements of doing that activity. What happened to your body while you were imagining the lemon juice? Your mouth on the lemon.
That's cool. One person said they were very relaxed. Another started salivating, thinking about taste. A lot of people had increased saliva. And yeah, relaxation was something that people mentioned quite a bit. Some people tensed up. They liked the tartness. They salivated and puckered. So those are the most common things that people were experiencing, Candy.
So you can see that there's a lot of mental brain power with helping to use that to manage our symptoms. And so some other techniques to use your mind would be doing a body scan, distraction, positive thinking, visualization, meditation, and thoughtful breathing. And every time I do this activity, I even start to kind of salivate, even though I'm just, sharing it with people. I have that same sensation that happens. Some more examples of using your mind. Again, it's just the mental part of an event, or being able to name all the states or capitals, counting backwards by threes from starting at any number you want. Sometimes it's 100 or 200. Remember the words to a favorite song. Think of a bird for every letter of the alphabet, or a sports team, whatever you like. And even imagining the details of your favorite vacation place. So distraction, it's getting your mind to focus on something other than your worries and stress and discomfort or shortness of breath. It is also useful when your mind is full of worries and you can't get to sleep or go back to sleep when you've woken up. And it's a good thing to help with dealing with the pain, or if you have to climb stairs and you have painful knees or ankles. And it's really good for reducing stress also.
So using your mind, I talked earlier about the toolkit and how we use it to break the symptom cycle in various places. Using your mind is one very, very powerful tool in breaking that symptom cycle. And now Candy's going to introduce us to another one that we really think is fantastic. And that's our goal setting and problem solving.
The one thing about an action plan is it's really designed to help individuals get to a big end result goal in small steps. And these small steps lead to really big accomplishments. But the big part about action plans is action planning, when you set that in place, you really want it to be something that you want to do, not something somebody else wants you to do, but something for you that you want to accomplish. It needs to be achievable. And we typically set our action plans by the week. It doesn't mean that your action plan can't continue into the next week, but it is something that's that small amount of time that's very manageable and achievable. And it can be behavior or action specific. You know, here, an example is that when you're reconnecting with a friend, it's not a behavior or an action, but calling of the friend or the sending of a letter or a postcard to the friend is the actual behavior action that's part of the action planning process. And that the reconnecting with the friend is the result of you performing that action. And the plans should answer these questions. What is it that you're going to do? So are you going to go for a walk? Are you going to, walk down the end of the driveway? Whatever it may be. How much of it are you going to do? Is it for 20 minutes? Is it 3 blocks? Is it, is it broken up into 3 sections of 10 minutes? When will you do it? Is it going to be after dinner? And it could also mean you're going to schedule it with yourself on days of the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Whatever you feel that you're going to be most successful at completing these goals and the action plan. So how often between now and the next Monday will you be doing it? So we really recommend 3 to 4 times during a week. Anything more than that doesn't really give you the wiggle room for when life happens and those unexpected, barriers might pop up. But 3 to 4 is really manageable. We do try to keep people to that because every day is really not reasonable sometimes with everything that people may have going on. And the final piece is the confidence level. And we really like to see confidence levels at a 7 or higher. And that means when on the scale, 0 is no confidence and 10 is really confident. So we know that when it's 7 or higher, action plans are much more successful and people feel accomplished too. So we'd like you to practice with us. We'll start with an example. And while we're demonstrating our action plans, we'll have you guys share in the chat box what you'll be doing, and I'll highlight all the steps to it with the confidence level. So, Catherine.
Yes.
A favorite part of the workshop, right?
It is.
The weekly action plan.
It is. So this week between now and actually Monday, I will floss my teeth. And how much is for 2 minutes? When is after breakfast? And how many days is, I'm going to start with 4 as my goal minimum. And my confidence level is 8. How about you, Candy?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And your heart's going to be a lot healthier for that.
I know.
All right. So I'm going to, between now and next week, I'm going to be turning off electronics by 7 o'clock. I'm trying to get a really good night's sleep. So I'm trying to like decompress and unplug. And I'm going to target right now 3 days. I do want to, I have been working on it for a while and I want to bump it up, but right now I'm really comfortable that I can get 3 days in, turn my electronics off at 7 o'clock, and then my confidence level is a good solid 8.
Cool, that's great. Okay, so if some folks would like to type into the chat room, we're leaving our action plan form up so that you can use these steps. Let us know between now and next week what you will do, how much you plan to do, when, and how many days, and the confidence level of 7 between 0 and 10, 7 being our preferred minimum. So we'll give you a few moments to think and then type those in. Okay, well, we have a couple here. One person is going to walk their dog, and they're going to do that 3 evenings at after dinner, and their confidence level is 8. We also have someone who is going to have more water, and for 30 minutes, walk more and have more water. So yeah, so usually when we do an action plan, we like you to pick one thing to focus on, but you can certainly focus on more than that. Somebody's going to quilt. That's a nice action plan on Monday after work. Between now and Monday, and they're going to do it every day. They're not that confident though. So the confidence level there is 6. So what we might suggest on something like that is if you are quilting for 30 minutes after work and you're saying it's every day and your confidence level is a little low, you might think about reducing the number of days you're committing to. So ask yourself, well, if I would like to do it every day, but I'm going to plan definitely to do it 3, how confident are you that you can do it at least 3 days? So that would be an example. We also have somebody walking on the treadmill with after work 3 days with a confidence level of 7. Somebody's checking their blood sugar before bedtime on 3 days with a confidence level of 7. So these are great plans, great examples. Somebody is going to spend time outside for 15 minutes in the afternoon before dinner. Again, confidence level of 7. So these are great ways to start. So thank you so much for sharing those.
Well, and Catherine, I think that one action plan that you used as an example is the problem solving steps that sometimes we have to utilize.
Right.
And so like with my action plan to turn off the electronics, it was really difficult at first. And I found that I had people the next day saying, hey, you didn't get back to me. I tried to get a hold of you and had all that. So I initially was trying to do it, 6 days a week. And I found that that didn't work initially. And because I had to get people used to it. I had to get my family used to it. I had to get used to it. And so once you identify what the problem may be, you can list out ideas to solve the problem. And we recommend that once you have a list of ideas, all of them can be very great ideas, but pick one to try and then check it out. Try it for a week. If that doesn't work, go back to your list and pick another one of them and try it out. And use other resources as you may need to. But one thing that if you get to the bottom of your list of potential ideas to solve what the barrier is, maybe it's not something that you should be focusing on right now. And maybe you need to focus someplace else and pick something else, and there might be a time for that later.
Yeah, excellent. Problem solving is one of the real keys to good self-management. And like you said, Candy, that last one of knowing when a problem just isn't solvable right now is also really important. So this is a picture of the book that every participant gets after they've logged into the workshop and completed their first week. So people will get it about 7 days after they've completed the first session. It's a fabulous reference book. It was just updated, and it's got just a ton of resources and even more information that you get through the workshop. So it really supplements the workshop nicely.
And it has my favorite lemons on the cover.
Yeah, there's the lemons. Exactly.
So I invite you, we would love to have you come and participate with us in the workshops. Catherine's going to post the link into the chat box for you to be able to register for this workshop. If you have the PowerPoint on, you can also click on the Join Us for Better Health. It should work. It's a live link. But you know, we hope that you come and take advantage of being able to, you know, have more tools to improve your quality of life.
So I just posted the link, Candy, and hopefully everybody can see it there.
Okay, thank
and
you.
So it's at the end of the, yeah. And then we also have, I'm going to post this as another link. One of the things that Candy and I really love about doing these workshops is the comments that we get from people at the end of the 6 weeks. And people share their successes with each other throughout the 6 weeks, but at the end, many people make huge, significant changes. And this is just one example of a person who made some significant changes in her life. And this is available for you to view if you wish to listen to her story. And I'll paste that into the chat box as well.
All right, so we have
Oh, I have one more thing. You will also, from Jonah, you will also receive an email from us with the link. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah. All right, so we'd like to take a few minutes. We have a little bit of time left. If you have any questions, we'll try to get them answered for you. So please type them into the chat box because Catherine is monitoring the chat box.
Oh, good. Someone said thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
We'll wait a couple of minutes and see if anyone has any questions. Somebody wants to know if the slides will be available after.
Jonah.
I think we recorded it. Is that right? The recording?
I believe that is what happens as the recording goes out. Jonah can.
Yeah, so there will be a recording of this event will be sent to everyone in the next 24 hours. An automated message from Zoom will come and has a link to the recording. You will also receive an email from Canary Health with more information about the program.
Great.
Okay. And the PowerPoint, somebody's asking if the PowerPoint would be available.
Yes, we can certainly make that available as well.
Okay. Great. Everybody's wondering who that man's voice is. It's the Wizard of Oz. He's been behind the curtain.
He's our support guru. That's who he is.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. Is there?
Oh, wait, there's another question I'd like to answer really quick because this is common. It says, I noticed you can log in any time during the week that the workshop starts. Is there a specific time to meet up? So there isn't a specific, it's not a live chat like this is. You will post and then people log in at their convenience and they can read through all the posts and respond to the ones that they might have a comment on. So it's more like a Blackboard kind of interaction. So you can, we recommend that you log in first thing, either Monday or Tuesday that your workshop starts, and then as often as you wish throughout the week. Candy, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope, you did great. It just, there's just not the live interaction that people think that they might get from a class type activity.
Right. Yeah, like an online class discussion board, exactly. Okay, well, we're 2:01, so we should let everyone go and get on with their day.
Thank you all. We really appreciate you joining us.